Yo, yo, yo. It's Marky Mark's Tarot. Actually, you know what? Let me charge my phone. That's what I said. This damn dog snoring like crazy. Hi Anna, how you doing? Yes, I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you? You're doing well. Good to hear. Glad you're doing well. Mhm. Did you have a good Christmas? It's $5 per question. Oh, that's crazy. No problem. Yeah, it's PayPal and Super Chat. You can use either one. The PayPal link is right in the chat, and the Super Chat link is the $ icon. So you have two options. Either one. No problem. Today's Friday, right? Yeah. Today is Friday. Friday, Friday. Hey Ann, how you doing? Just chilling like a villain. That's crazy. My day was good. I relaxed. I didn't do too much. Went grocery shopping with my sister. Hey Maria, oh good. Nothing exciting. Same shit, different day. I even forgot I came on a lot earlier. Today's been one of those days like it seems doesn't even feel like Friday. That's why I can't stand holidays during the week. When a holiday is during the week, it's like it's annoying. Because then it messes up your day. Like it feels like a different day today. But yeah, I didn't do too much. I was gonna work and then I stopped myself. Yeah, it definitely was a long day. But I was gonna work this morning, then I said nah. Then it was really windy. And then my sister was like, I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming too. Fuck it, let's go. And we went grocery shopping, and then we came home, and then I pretty much came online for a bit, and then after that, I just went to the games room with my nephew. We played some pool and darts and hung out for a bit. Then we watched the game just now together, and now I'm here. But it definitely doesn't feel like Friday, and it feels weird. Everything's out of whack. But otherwise, I had a nice chill day. Didn't really do much, and I'm glad I didn't because like I've been my back and my legs hurt from working so much. So the last 3 days I haven't worked at all. So like I feel better from not working. I wish I could take a month off and not work at all. That won't be possible because somebody will aggravate me. I'll never get that much time off. I wouldn't be so lucky. But like I need time off so I can recover. That's the only way I'm gonna get better. But I feel good today. I wasn't in no pain or anything today. So that's good. If I don't work, then I'm okay. Yeah, when I was in high school and I was dying to get out of school, and the days went by so short. I mean, so long. I mean, and it was dragged out, and I was so mad. I wanted to go home. I didn't want to be at school. Then when I was in the army, it was the longest 3 years of my life. It was the day that I got out of army. I was so fucking happy. Oh my god, the two happiest days of my life was when I left school and when I left the army. And that's no lie. That's the fucking happiest days of my life. Shit. The happiest. By far. Two places that I felt trapped all the time. Couldn't go nowhere. Had to be there. That's why it's so nice not having to be somewhere. I don't like when I'm like tied down to something. I have to be there. I have to do nothing. Leave me alone. I remember sitting in my desk at school and looking at that clock and praying for that thing to like go to 3:25. I would pray every day, come on 3 o'clock, come on 25, come on 3:25. And it was like 3:20. I would get like so anxious. I'm like, come on, 5 more minutes. I can't stand listening to this woman talk. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here so bad. I need to get out of here. And then came the day I was 17, and I said, you know what? I'm making the decision to leave school. Fuck this place. I'm out of here. I'm sick and tired of these nuns. Sick and tired of bullshit Catholic school. Sick and tired of these teachers that don't give a shit. Sick and tired of learning subjects that are not going to help me in life, like biology and history and social studies and bullshit, algebra and bullshit like that. Like, I'm not staying in high school to learn this trash. I know my ABCs, my 1, 2, 3s. I know how to read and write. I'm good. I'll be fine in the world. And sure as hell I was. Bye. Smell you later. And when I came home that summer, my mom and dad were so mad. My mom and dad were mad as hell. And I said, listen, I'm going to go to work. You don't have to pay school tuition anymore. You definitely don't have to pay no college tuition because I ain't going nowhere near none of those things. I said, I'm going to go work. Oh, you're making a big mistake. You should stay in school. I'm like, no, I'm not. The mistake is staying there and learning bullshit that's not going to help me. Like this is not going to help me in the life that I want. So they're like, okay, well, whatever. You're going to regret it. I'm like, okay, we'll see. That's why nobody likes me. Because I proved everybody wrong. My family's so fucking pissed at me. They're like, this fucker dropped out of school, didn't go to college, has his own business, does all this other shit. He's making it. He's fine. He's happy. I'm like, yeah, I told you. That's what I want. Leave me alone. I'm a grown fucking man. Let me do what I want. But I don't encourage young people to like leave school because I don't want their parents to come knocking on my door telling me, oh, you told them be like you and fuck school. And, I don't want my children. I'm not going to tell nobody else's children what to do. I could care less. If they say, hey, should I stay in school? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Because if you want to be like me, it's going to be a tough road for you now. Back in the day, it was tough, but now it's even worse. Because there's a lot of places where you need education, you need paperwork, you need like a college degree or a graduate graduation, you need to have like some school. So I say, it all depends on what you want to be. I suggest people who work with their hands, like plumbing, electrical, construction, you don't need no college for that. You need hands on training. You need to go out in the field and learn, like I did. So I remember that summer when I left school, I went straight to a gas station. My cousin was working there at the gas station, and my dad knew the guy, and I knew the guy too because he was his daughter was in my class, and he said, "You sure you want to leave school?" I'm like, "Look, man, school ain't meant for me." And I said, "I want to pump gas. I want to learn how to like do mechanics. You guys got a garage back here. Can I be an apprentice or something? I'll take minimum wage. I don't give a fuck. I just need a job." So he gave me a job. I was pumping gas, washing windows, and washing cars, making money. And then the garage was real busy one day, and then the guy's like, "Oh, what do you know?" I said, "I know a lot of shit about cars and bikes and things like that." So I, like from 17 to 19, I was in like training with the guy, learning how to work on cars and fixing flat tires using the machine. Being careful and making sure that I do the right thing. And yeah, I learned how to be a mechanic. And then one of the owners left, sold his shares, and then another owner left, sold his shares. So it was just one guy left, and he didn't want to sell, and he was happy like to be by himself finally. He was the actual mechanic. So then he taught like I became the manager and his left hand man, his right hand man. I mean, so he ended up teaching me a lot of things. I ended up being a manager there when I was 20, and then he had a stroke, and then everything went downhill. And his brother and his daughter took over the company and ruined it. I left. Then I met this guy doing construction. So I started working for him. He was a real asshole, but I needed a job, and I just like, I'm making more money than I ever made doing construction. So I started. Then I met this Portuguese guy, electrician, and then I started learning how to do electrical. And the boss started, the guy that was the boss, he was like maybe 10 years older than me. And he was like kind of getting like jealous because he saw like how much motivation and I had and how fast I was learning. And then he saw like the bond I had with the guy, and like he's basically paying me to learn, a trade, and then the other guy knew it, like saw it and stuff, and then we used to get into like some arguments. And then one day, like he was picking on me, and I took my motorcycle helmet, and I was about to knock his ass the fuck out. And my friend like held me back and was like, "No, no, no, don't hit this guy. You're gonna fucking kill him. Leave him alone. Let him talk shit. Let's go." So he fired me, and then I say about a month later, he came back to me and apologized, and then I started working for him again, and then he had his brother working for him. So I lasted maybe another 3 or 4 months. I made a mistake going back there. But the only reason I went back was because my boy was working there, the guy who was teaching me and stuff, and they all liked me, and they all convinced the boss to like apologize and take me back. Then his brother started working there, and his brother was even more of a jackass than he is. So one day after a hurricane, he was like, "Oh, you got to go inside this basement area, and all the water and leaves are in there, and you have to like take it out by hand." And I'm like, "I'm not taking that shit out by hand. That's dumb as shit. We have a pump." And then he goes, "Oh, that's not ours. It's the owner's." So then the owner was looking at me shovel everything out. And then the owner was like, "Yo, yo, yo, you guys can use the pump, man." Because I pumped it out and before the during the hurricane because it was all full of water. So then I hooked the pump up and put it in. And then the guy that was the guy's brother, he was the boss at the time. And he was in charge of me and the other. He was like, "Yeah, turn that pump off. I don't care if the owner told you use that pump. You gotta do what I tell you to do. You better do it by hand." So then the owner comes back out like 20 minutes later. It's like, "Hey, I thought I told you to use the pump." I said, "Well, look, my boss right here said don't use it." He goes, "No, no, no, you better use it because I'm not paying you guys by the hour to do that." So then when the guy went back inside, I hooked the pump back up. And then my boss is mad, right? So I was like, "Yeah, I started making off at him. I said, "You're a fucking idiot. The guy that this guy's house. You're supposed to do what he tells you to do. He is your boss because you work at his house. Shut the fuck up. Don't tell me what to do, you punk." Because he was like older than me, right? Like 20 years older than me. I said, "If you had common sense, you'd be all right, but you're not even a boss. You're a dumbass." He was like, "You know what? I'm tired of you. You're fired." I said, "Good. Thank you very much. You did me a favor." Because 2 days from now, I already had a job lined up. And I said, "You know what? You have fun. You pump this shit out. And when I leave, you tell the owner why you fired me." So I saw the owner like about a week later. And he was like, "I heard what happened. I can't believe that asshole fired you because of that." I said, "Look, I told him that you are our boss because we work for you. We work at your house. You gave us your pump to pump the water up. And it's faster if you pump it up. And then you just clean up the leaves at the end. It would have took less time and we would have got on with more work." He goes, "Yeah, I saw that. I was looking out the window and I was wondering why. And I saw you guys arguing in the end." And I was like, "Well," I said, "Look, sir, I ain't got no time for this shit." I said, I'm got a new job in another 2 days. I'm gonna go work electrical. I'm gonna do electrical work for a guy I went army with." So he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I had just left. I had just finished army. I was like 21, going 22. And this guy that I met, I knew of him, and then I met him, and I got to know him during the army. And I said, "Look, I want to be. I'm not an electrician, but I know a lot. But I want to like continue. I want to keep being an electrician." So he hired me, and same thing happened again. I started getting really good after like a year and a half. I climbed the ladder really quick because I'm one thing about me, I like to keep going to the top. I can't be like on the bottom because that bothers me. Like I don't want to be some regular servant or some bullshit. I want to be a boss. Even at that age, I was like, I can't be no regular guy. I want to know. I want to learn as much as I can. So me being the Aquarius, you know, that I am. So anyway, I started getting better and better at my job. So much so that people thought that I was the boss. People thought that I was the owner because we had the same name. We were both Mark. So they thought that I was the owner and the owner was the worker. So he got bothered by that. He couldn't handle it because I was more taught. I was more sociable. I wasn't stuck up like he was. Like, and I knew a lot. I started to learn more and more from the guy that was there. He was younger than me, but he knew more than me. He was a better electrician than me. He still is. He taught me more. Right, this other guy. He's actually one of my best friends, and we're still cool too today. So anyway, I was there for about maybe 4 years, I think. Yeah, probably like 4 years. And then um, one Christmas, it was like Christmas time around this time, and we were about to go on our Christmas break. And I said, "Look, man, I don't want to like. I'm not one for to beg for like a raise or anything like that. But I've been here for like 3 years now, and I want to make more money. I feel like I'm worth more." "Pah, you're not worth more money than you make. You can't even do this and you can't do that. I said, oh, really? I can't? I said, you know why you say I can? Because you never tell me to do it, but I know how to. I said, but you're not around. Who you think puts those switches in those boxes? Me. I said, your foreman teaches me. And he didn't know what to say because he knew deep down inside I knew what I was doing and I was worth more money. So he told me I'm not worth money and the money that I'm getting. And I was like, okay, well, you know what, bro? I'm leaving. I don't need you. Never did. And I'm gone. Fuck you and your raise and everything else. So he thought I wasn't gonna do it. So then he called, I left. And then he's like, oh, what, you're not coming back? I said, I just told you, what are you, deaf? Like, I'm not coming back here unless I make more money. Somebody will pay me more because I'm worth more. I know my worth. And he was like, oh, well, I can't pay you more because then you'll be making more than my foreman. I said, well, he deserves more too. So if you pay me more, you got to pay him more just to make things. Oh, no, hell no. Ha ha. He was laughing at me. Ha, you must think you're going to tell me what to do at my business. I said, look, man, you're a fucking idiot. Like, he's like, who the fuck you talking to? Yeah, you're a fucking nobody. You don't know what you're doing. Nah, nah, nah. So then I was like, this guy's crazy, right? So I took a piece of like rebar and I put it up to his head and I said, you know what? I should smash your head in with this damn thing. I said, you never give me any credit. I've been here for 3 years. I bust my ass for you. I work over 8 hours every day. I come to work. I put in the time. I put in the effort. I learn. And you have the nerve to tell me I'm nobody and I don't know nothing. I said, you know what, bro? I should beat your ass right now. And I said, but I'm not. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to work very hard to go on my own. And I'm going to be your competition one day, whether you like it or not. And I threw the piece of rod down. I wanted to beat him, but I was like, don't do it, Mark. Just leave. So then I left. And I ended up having a friend of mine that went on his own. And I got caught up in the moment. I should have went on my own when I was 26, but I didn't. I was an idiot. I should have. But then my friend went on his own. And when he went on his own, I joined him. And we were like, I was like kind of on my own, but not really. I was still working for him. He was paying me. So we did all the things that I love to do, electrical, maintenance, painting. We did so much work. He got like a big job. So I was working for him for like a year. And then after that, he started getting on my fucking nerves. Mm-hmm. And he started questioning me and he started like aggravating me. And then he brought in this guy from away that was his cousin. And he had the guy working with us illegally. And then I was like, what are you doing, bro? You're like, if you get caught, you know how much problems we're going to have? And I said, I don't want to be like the accomplice in this. Like, this is not good. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's nothing to do with you. I'll take the fall, obviously, you ain't got to worry about it. So then one day it was raining and I had a bike. So I would ride my bike, like my motorcycle, to work. And I got there late because it was pouring rain and I wasn't going to be riding in the rain. So I pulled over because it was so bad. And he knew, but he was being a dickhead. He goes, oh, yeah, late. I said, yeah, obviously, because it's raining, idiot. And he's like, no, I don't like the way you talk to me. And I said, look, I'm old enough to talk to you however I want, bro. I said, you don't own me. I said, you know what, bro? I'm actually tired of you because you don't appreciate me either. I took the keys of the place that, because I had the keys. I took the keys and I threw it right at him and it hit him in his chest. And he didn't do nothing. And the guy, his cousin, was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, you shut the fuck up because I'll go to immigration right now and prick on your ass. So shut the hell up. So then I left. And then my best friend was like working for a company that delivers food, right? And delivering food. So then I went with him to deliver food for like about 6 months probably. So little did I know I was getting myself into even more trouble working with my friends. And I was working with him, and then he was like, he would close up every night, and the owners were gone. And he would indirectly like steal shit. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? He's like, oh, they ain't got no cameras around here. I'm taking a fucking bag of this shrimp home. I'm making this for my dinner tonight. I don't give a fuck about these people. They treat me like shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, man, this never ends. And then like spirits like trying to show me like, yo, bro, you need to go on your own and get away from everybody. But like I always had this doubt about going on my own and starting my own business because the people around me wasn't really motivating me. But I knew deep down in my heart that I had the skill and the mentality to do it. Like I knew that I can go on my own. I knew it. I knew it all this time. But I was just like, it was just the doubt inside of me that wouldn't do it. Right? I didn't want to take the plunge. So then this asshole was like stealing shit on a regular basis, right? And he was like, yeah, you want some, man? Take it. I'm like, no, bro, I'm not stealing nothing. Then fuck that shit. I said, I just want a job, bro, until I get myself sorted out. I said, you can steal whatever you want. I don't fucking care. Nothing to do with me. Yeah, I ain't seeing nothing. Right? I said, you're my boy, but what you're doing is wrong. You'll figure it out. So they figured it out that he was stealing shit. So one day we come there at night and about 7, 8 o'clock or whatever, we knocked off. And once again, this asshole steals like a case of something. And little did he know the cameras were set up. He got caught. And the camera caught him. And of course, I'm in the camera because I'm with him. But I didn't steal anything. So I'm good. So we got called into the office the next morning. Oh, you guys stealing shit? I'm like, yo, you don't, I ain't stealing nothing, bro. So then my boy goes, yeah, I did steal it. I'm on the camera. You can see me. I did take that shit. I'll pay for it or whatever. He goes, no, you're fired. And he looked at me. You're fired too because you're with him. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding. And I looked at my boy. I was like, gee, thanks, bro. I really needed this job right now to get myself sorted out, like, just to keep me going until like I get my shit. So I ended up getting fired because I was with this asshole that was fucking stealing shit. And me and him were like, we were like pretty much like really good friends, like, like not best friends, but like we known each other for a long time. And he got me the job. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. This is not going right. So I was like, you know what? That's enough. I'm not going to work for anybody else. I got to work for myself. So I got up the next day and I went to the payroll tax department. Sat down with a nice lady. I'll never forget her. She was very kind. And I said, look, sweetheart, I want to start my own business. I don't know. I don't have a clue how to start it. I was told to come here. She goes, sure, come down and sit down. So she told me, what do I want to call the business? I was like, yeah, Mark's Maintenance, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, that's simple, yeah. Just write your name, thing, your address, blah, blah, blah. This is how much you're going to pay every 3 months. And then you got to get social insurance, pension, blah. These are things you have to pay for. So just fill out these forms and I'll get you sorted out. So I'm thinking she's going to call me like, maybe a week from now or a month from now. She comes back with the papers within 15 minutes. And she took all the papers, put them all together. She signed the thing and it says, the front page said Mark's Maintenance, business, blah, 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 reference number, this, that. And I was like, so she goes, yeah, you're officially a business now. You're done. You came to the right place. There's nobody, there's nobody here. You picked the perfect day to come here. It's Monday morning. I'm like, so I have my own business right now. So I said, so I can go work right now, no problem. She goes, yeah, you're good to go. She goes, just remember that you're going to get a bill every 3 months for payroll tax and a bill every month for social insurance pension. You have to pay that or else your business gets closed down. I'm like, okay. And I said, look, I'm gonna buy a brand new like car. She goes, yeah, you can work out of your car, no problem. You don't need a permit, like a van or anything like that. I was like, okay. I didn't think this shit was this simple. So I felt like a fucking idiot because I should have done that like a long time ago. And I was 29 years old, and it was September 20th, 2007. And I walked out of that office and I said, I can't believe this shit, how easy it was. I was in this office for half an hour, and within 15 minutes of filling out paperwork, I'm officially like a business now. This is crazy. So from September to the first week of January, I went around handing out business cards, trying to get work, and I started getting work. But I didn't have a car, so I was using my mom and dad's car, using a friend's car, you know, telling a friend to bring shit to a job for me, and I was on my motorcycle. So then January comes, I got a brand new car, which I still have till today. It's 17 years old, and I went to work, and I never looked back. And that's pretty much my life. The last 20 years of my life. That's what's happened. Well, not 20 years, more than that. But yeah, since I left school, that's pretty much my story. So I always encourage people to go on their own earlier. So if I was, I mean, everything happens for a reason, right? But I wish I would have started like earlier in my like early 20s. I would have been a lot better off now than I am now. But I'm still good. But I would have I would have done a lot more stuff. I would have made more money and had more shit and had more like value if I would have started like 25, 22. But it didn't happen that way. I don't have a regret or anything. But I've been through the ringer with like trying to find what job was right or what was right for me. And then, like I said, the last 17 years have been crazy too, because working for myself, I had to deal with other contractors, other people. In 2010, I had my first like big job, and my friend was building a house, and his father-in-law, I had a meeting with him to convince him that I was the right electrician for the job. And then the guys who were the construction workers, I knew of them but never worked with them. It was my first big job, like doing a whole house by myself. So I got my best friend that taught me electrical. I got him to come down there and help me. And then I know how to read architectural plans. So I read the plans, and he was like, "Yeah, you're right. You got in the right place, Mark. You did it. Everything's good. I don't see no fuck ups. Everything's good." So like he taught me how to read plans, and I read the plans. I marked out everything. And ever since 2010, I have that same client. He's my favorite client, my best client, and for the past 14 years, he's gave me work. He's the one who has given me the most work, and he has a lot of properties. He's a millionaire, and I convinced him from day one that I was his guy that he needed to work on all his houses. So I got very lucky, but I had to to find him and to be, to have him as a client and still have him as a client. But I had to bust my ass, and I got critiqued a lot because I was young, and like I didn't have, I wasn't like a licensed electrician. I didn't have like the official paperwork. But you know, in Bermuda, you don't need it. Like you don't have to have like paperwork to get big jobs and shit like that. You don't have to prove you're an electrician. You have to like it has to pass. Like my electrical work has to pass inspection. There's three inspections. There's the initial inspection, and then there's a second inspection halfway, and then there's a final inspection. So if I pass those inspections, it don't matter if I'm a licensed electrician or not, because what matters is if the job's done properly. But the guy that was the inspector of that job, he gave me such a hard time. And then the owner had a word with him and said, "Hey, look, this guy's doing a great job. Out of all of these fucking idiots I have here working at this house, he's the only one that's here doing his job properly. You know, you need to give him a break." And he didn't say nothing, like he just, because he knew he was like aggravating me, right? Because my friend that taught me electrical, he would inspect it before it got passed, and he told me, "Yeah, it'll pass. You did everything right. You're good. So he should come here and pass it." But he would like nitpick at stupid shit and make up things to try not to pass it. He was trying to give me a hard time because I was like the new electrician on the scene, and because I wasn't certified, he gave me a hard time, and I was like, "You fucking asshole." So yeah, I it ended up passing, and then the next job I did, it was a different inspector because it was in a different area. So this inspector, he knew me and he knew my friend. And my friend said, "Hey, look, when you see Mark, I taught him how to do electrical. So he goes, he knows what he's doing. So don't give him a hard time because that other ass gave him a hard time." So then the inspector was like talking to me and he tried to get me to like get my papers. And I was like, "Look, bro, if it ain't a law, I'm not going to school. Me and school don't click." And he goes, "Okay, that's fine. I'm not trying to pressure you, but if I'm not around, it's gonna be hard for you because these guys can give you." I said, "That's cool, man. I'm got broad shoulders. If I do my job properly, it don't bother me if people are hating on me like that." So I said, "Look, if you don't mind, have a word with that other asshole inspector and tell him not to give me a hard time." But that didn't work. He gave me more of a hard time. But I ended up working for this construction company for like 4 years. And then after the fourth year, I got fed up of them because they weren't doing their part. Like it was always me looking good, and those guys will always fuck up. They be drinking and smoking and not doing their job to their best of their ability. And I got tired of like making them look good, and I got tired of dealing with them. And I said, I need to do electrical contracting on my own, or like don't do it at all. Go back to like regular shit. So luckily enough, um, I left those guys in 2014, and he begged me to like come back, and I was like, "Oh hell no!" I was like, "Fuck you and your company." I basically told him like on the phone. He's like, "Oh, you're making a big mistake leaving me. I'm got a lot of work." I said, "I don't give a fuck. When you die, you can't take that money with you, and you can't show everybody your work because you're dead." "Oh, that's how you look at things. You're an idiot. You don't know what life is." I'm like, "You're younger than me, bro. You're got a lot to learn. You'll see." So me and him went at it, and then I was like, "Look, I don't want to be your electrician anymore. Go fuck yourself." So it was the best decision I ever made because in 2015 I took a break from everybody, and then I regrouped. And then in 2016, the guy that I worked for, um, from then until now, he he had one of his houses. His dad passed away, and he ended up like having the house, him and his crackhead brother. So he kicked his crackhead brother out. He ended up renovating the house, and I ended up doing it through him, which was great. And then he just kept giving me more and more work, and that's how I've survived the last 8 years from 2016 till now. He's like giving me all the work from all his houses. So I kind of do like property management for him. And his son-in-law's parents are also my clients, and they give me a lot of work too. So between both of them, I have enough work, no problem. And before my sister got a divorce, I was working for her mother-in-law and father-in-law, and they had a huge property, and they started to get me to work there. But my brother-in-law was jealous. See, he didn't want me to work for his parents because if they saw what I was capable of, he knew I was going to make top dollar with them. And I had, pure millionaire clients at the time. So I ended up taking on his mother and father, which is my sister's mother-in-law and father-in-law, or ex-father-in-law and mother-in-law. So they had a big business. I ended up working for the business. I ended up working for them. And then, it was great. Everything was cool. And then, my sister got a divorce, and then I stopped working for his mother, and father. They never called me back. They're like, hell no. So, but it was no loss. So yeah, that's my life pretty much in a nutshell. That's how my business and my life ended up being. And the thing is, I don't advertise. I don't really like have business cards and shit. It's just word of mouth. And I end up like God just puts people in front of me and gives me work. One of my biggest clients the last 4 years is my sister, because this house is big and we did a big renovation when she was still married to that jackass. So we had like we did a pool renovation here, and the job was almost a whole year, pretty much. I was working here and getting paid. So, and now the house is ours. So it was worth fixing it all up. And life is good. No problem, man. So anybody who hears that story, just remember, if I can do it, you can do it. I'll never hate on anybody for like trying to be better. If you want a better life, go on your own. Or if you have a good job, like do your best and don't worry about anybody talking shit about you, or don't worry about somebody else making more than you, because we can't take that money with us. You should never allow money or like a position or someone else who makes more or whatever. Don't worry about that shit, because you're gonna die like everybody else. And don't worry about all that shit. And if you have a desire to go on your own and be your own boss, remember you gotta work hard. It's not about hiring people to make your business successful. It can happen that way, but you gotta be very lucky. And you got to be able to just take a wage and not want to do that, because I did it. I had 3 guys working for me off and on, not at the same time, but off and on, and it didn't work because those guys won't do what I do. So then I got rid of all of them as I went on, and now it's just me by myself with the way I want it. But I encourage everybody to do what they want. Like, do what you're talented at. If you're really good at something, do it. Be the best version of yourself. Be the best you can be, and you don't have to be better than somebody else or claim you're better than somebody else, or you don't have to think like that. Just do your job. Do what you do best. You be the best the best person you could be, the best worker you can be, the best business owner you can be. Just do what's best for you. And remember, don't kill yourself for money. You know, we're all gonna die, and it's all gonna stay behind. Everything you worked for and have is all gone. It's gone just like that. So don't take it so fucking serious. Like, just live your life but be happy. Work. If you want to work hard, go ahead. I work hard every now and then. You know, just be yourself. You can be like Maria. See, work during the day and make cupcakes and make cakes. See, and now she's gonna be making money. You know, she's starting her business. See, proud of you, Maria. See? I know my motivational speeches is getting to some people. I just talking shit. That's cool, Maria. I'm glad. I'm sure he'll be happy. Let me tell you something. A lot of people want people like that. They want like somebody to make cupcakes and cakes and all that because there's hardly anybody who does that shit. And whoever does it don't last. There was a person here that I know. She was making like cake pops, cakes, birthday cakes, cupcakes, all sorts of like pastries and stuff. And she lasted like maybe 2 or 3 years, and then that was it. She said the demand was too much, and she couldn't handle it, so she went and done something else. And then I know another chick that married my friend, and she was doing it, and she blew up too. She was making all these cupcakes and shit, like vegan cupcakes and all this bullshit she was making, and she was making thousands of dollars. And then she gave it up too. She was like, "Fuck this! I want to go work in the office. I ain't be baking all goddamn day." See, a lot of people can't handle it, but it's such a high demand for it. You know, there's a big demand in Bermuda. There's a big demand for people who make cakes and cupcakes and shit like that. Now people just go to like this grocery store that has a bakery in town, like in the city, and that's where we get our cakes. We walk up to the counter, we're like, "Yeah, we want this cake right here," and put "Happy Birthday" mark on it, and that's it. $50 gone. Me, I rather make the damn cake myself. It's cheaper and it's what I like, and it ain't got all this goddamn icing and all that that ruins the damn cake. I'm the type of guy I don't like 4 layers of fucking icing on my cake. Like that shit's too much. I want cake, not icing. Just the icing on top is good enough, and in the middle maybe. Like ease me up, bro. It's fucking diabetes cake. Calm down. People like tear the ass out of cakes too much. But there's a lot of places that make cakes, but not like single like people, like like independent owners, cake stores and places. There's hardly any in Bermuda because it's too much for like 1 or 2 people to do it. But you'll always get work if you do it. If you're a hustler, you can make it. And you have like the right system and the right ovens or whatever the fuck you guys use. But you just gotta be smart and do this shit right. And you can make it. You can definitely make it. Let me tell you. If I had the patience for that shit, I'd open up a fucking cake and a cake place. My cousin does it in Portugal. She has a cake business. She makes cakes. Oh, and she makes some ridiculous looking cakes. Like really looks nice. And that's her business. And at her house, she made like a bakery in the back. They built a like a separate like a house bakery, like a room. They built on this room in the back of the yard, and they put a big ass like stove in there and kitchen, and she works right from home. She always advertises her cakes online and shit. She makes money. It's been her business for a few years now. But I think she's actually no, let me not say that. Don't be rude, Mark. But yeah, it can be a successful business. There's a lot of successful businesses out there. You just have to you have to work hard. You'll get there. Believe that. If my mom, because my mom knows how to make baked goods, I always told my mom that she should have opened up a business from home and just did it from home. She's like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm like, yeah, well, you could have been rich. My mom, she makes good shit. She still does. She's getting 79 next week, and she still makes the best desserts and baked goods ever, and food. My mom's got a lot of knowledge with food and stuff. She knows how to she knows what time it is. She's got all the recipes from her friends and from her mom. She's really good at making soups and baked goods and homemade meals, and she knows how to tenderize and marinate meats and pork and all sorts of shit. My mom, she's a legend. I learned a lot from her. I videotaped a lot of the there's a few things that she makes that I love, and I videotaped her doing it. And she goes, "You better not put this on the internet." I said, "Mom, it's not going on the internet. It's on my phone, and I want it for me. So one day you're not here, I can fucking make it myself." And she looks at me, "You better not put this on the internet." I said, "I'm not, Mom. It's not going on the fucking internet." That's how she talks. "You better not play. I don't want you to put this on the internet." I'm like, "Calm down, woman. You're not going to be on the internet." Mhm. So yeah, life goes on. Oh shit. I hate when people do that. like these cameras around my house, right? And a spider ran on the camera, and you can see like its legs and stuff, and it triggered the camera. It was so funny. I was like, look at this damn thing. Like it's probably a small spider, but it looks big. It looks big on the camera, but it's not because the whole of the camera's like that. So, but I thought it's pretty funny. Like all you see is all its legs. I'm like, okay then. We don't really have big spiders here like that, but there's a lot of spiders around here this year. Like these weird looking yellow ones. It's kind of annoying, but that's what happens. They're everywhere. I don't know why this thing is still showing that. Whatever. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. It's 12:30 in the morning here. I'm gonna get my ass to bed and go sleep. Maria, I hope you have a good day with your son. Hope you have a good he has a good birthday. I think it's his birthday, right? So you had like a Christmas baby. That's cool. I'm sure he'll be happy. You got yourself a Capricorn. Oh boy. Yeah, hopefully, I mean, hopefully he doesn't turn into a crazy Capricorn. But yeah, he's a crybaby. Yep, that's what Capricorns are. Crybabies. Yep. Good luck with that. He should be all right. He'll be all right. He's got a good mom, so he's good. So I'm sure he'll love the cake, and I'm sure he'll be happy. So enjoy your day and enjoy your cake. And you should post it. Show your skills. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some sleep. Hope everybody has a good weekend. And I can't believe it's Friday again, Saturday. It feels like we had 2 weekends in 1 week. Like it's so annoying. It feels so weird. But I gotta remember tomorrow's Saturday. All right. Good night, Maria. Take care, sweetheart. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, cool. Thanks.